best advice you ever received in your career?
I'd say the best advice I ever got was from Harold Ramis, who said, you know, make sure you stand next to the smartest person in the room. And, you know, and I've kind of followed that mantra with, you know, hiring, you know, hire people maybe a little smarter than yourself. Yeah, that was Harold. You know, Harold always, once he met John Belushi, I mean, I think because he was on stage with John Belushi, felt that it was such a presence and a force that he realized, you know, I'm the second banana here, and I'm just going to support it.
What words of advice would you give to young aspiring comics or even impresarios to inspire them to greatness? Well,
the best advice I can give is, you know, make sure you listen, and listening is extremely important, and then go where the fear lives, you know? I mean, we're all, as we get older too, you know, doing things that that you feel fearful of, and even when you're young, I think it's very important to go there and make yourself feel uncomfortable. If you're feeling comfortable as an artist, I think you might be going in the right direction.
It seems that so much of what makes North Americans laugh has its roots in Canadians.
It seems to be. I mean, there's, you know, you think back into the days that we started SCTV or even Second City, and that whole core group was around. Martin Short, Catherine O'Hara, Gilda Radner, you know, even Ivan Reitman from Hamilton, Paul Schaefer. There was, and I can't give you any exact reason why. By the way, I mean, I get asked that question a lot, and you know, to give you a sort of a really intelligent response, I just don't know. I mean, I guess because everything was so new and fresh, and particularly when Lauren started SNL, I think that really jump-started everything as well. So that gave an opportunity for those people that were on our stages, both in Chicago and Toronto, particularly in Toronto. I think it really ratcheted up the opportunities for people to say, oh, this is the new wave of comedy.
And Saturday Night Live was really the jumper cables to you putting Second City on TV, wasn't it?
Well, no, Saturday Night started before we did. And the reason I actually started SCTV was I was pulling about $50 a week out of the theater, you know, and I thought, now Saturday Night Live is on the air, and that's on NBC. So CBS and ABC are going to say that's the new genre of comedy. Let's go to Second City and grab the next wave of talent, which was John Candy, Eugene, all those people I had. And I thought, oh my God, there goes my $50 a week. So, you know, I borrowed $35,000 from my partner, Len Stewart, and went to Alan Slade up at Global, and they gave us the studios, and we, you know, and part of the reason why it's such a minimalist, you know, a low-budget TV station was it truly was low budget. We didn't have much money.
You weren't faking it.
So we played into the conceit was based on reality.
Right. So out of necessity comes creativity.
Absolutely.
Absolutely right.
So then things started as we started building an awareness in the U.S. right away, because I was able to syndicate the show pretty rapidly. You know, that helped a lot, you know, in terms of financing the show, and then more people became aware of it, and then that helped the theater. More people came to the theater. Although, back in those days, people would come to the theater expecting to see that SCTV cast, which was always sort of a re-education that we had to kind of employ.
Have you ever laughed so hard you thought you were going to die?
There are times when, you know, there are definitely, and, you know, it's more actually in the Canadian Second City, I would say, I've had sort of those uncontrollable moments, because there's certain physicality to some of the Canadian material that I don't find as much in the Chicago material, and the physicality is always something that's very unique to Canadian comedy, you know. And then you saw it on the SCTV with the big character work and goofy characters and lowbrow characters, and Canadians seem to have an art for that, you know, that sort of dumb, you know, kind of looking at the world sort of in a very, what was the right word?
Wondering, questioning, beguiled, bewildered.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's Canada.
That's
the
Canada.
Definition of Canadians. Beguiled.